What's good, guys? Today we're with Dodgers star utility man and World Series champion Tommy Edman at his first major commercial shoot since becoming a Dodger. And today we're going to be breaking down some of his most iconic plays from the postseason.
Tommy Edman strikes again.
First one I got.
Okay, nice.
Series. Edman drives this ball deep left center field. Back goes Nimmo. Clean up Tommy Edman. A two-run blast.
Nice.
NLCS Game 6.
Game 6, facing Sean Manaea. Second time we faced him that series. He's a super funky lefty. Got a really weird angle and a good fastball. So I know against him, you got to do a good job of staying above the heater. You know, he's got the low release, so the approach angle is pretty tough to get to. And he threw a high fastball, and I was just doing my best to stay short, especially with 2 strikes, and was able to get to that heater.
Before the heater, I noticed, I think you had two or three foul balls off him. Do you remember those swings? Like, were you trying to do damage on those swings, or were you just trying to fight him off?
I think he threw me like 4 straight changeups, and I just fouled them all off. And I think he tried to sneak the fastball by, but I was able to kind of stay on the fastball and get to that one.
That's a high fastball, too.
Yeah, definitely something I was working on before the game. You know, especially during the playoffs, kind of do a good job of trying to simulate what the opposing pitcher is going to look like. A lot of machine work with the low release and try to get a good idea of what the fastball is going to do when you're actually hitting.
Do you ever watch like these angles of your highlights?
Yeah, I've seen.
Like, to study or just for fun?
A little bit of both. You know, it's cool. I think just seeing like the crowd's reaction is one of the coolest parts. You know,
throwing on the homers, I think that's the best thing.
Sometimes it's fun to like try to figure out which fan stands up first.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Yeah.
With the NLCS all together, like obviously congrats on the MVP.
Yeah, thank you.
But this was the first homer. Like the rest of your hits were doing damage with singles, like doubles, nothing really crushed. Like, did anything change in your approach for this at bat? Were you trying to hit a homer?
No, not at all. You know, the crazy thing with the NLCS was I feel like I got up with runners on base every single at-bat.
Yeah.
I had a ton of RBI, but all the guys in front of me just like kept getting on base, giving me so many opportunities to knock guys in. Our lineup was so good that series.
Yeah. So then my next one.
Tommy Edman with a 1-2 and a ground ball right side under Oswaldo Cabrera.
Game 1 of the World Series, bottom of the 10th. What do you remember about that?
Yeah, we're down 1 in the 10th. I'm hitting 9th in this game. We got Shohei, Mookie, Freddie after me. So I'm just thinking, you know, this guy's a ground ball pitcher. Try to get something off the ground. You know, you got to give Shohei a chance. Try to get on base if I can. He made a couple of good pitches and I actually did hit a ground ball, but fortunately it was to the right spot.
Do you remember some of these strike calls though?
Yeah, I remember thinking, man, that's not a strike. Yeah, that's brutal. Especially in that situation too. You can't give them both sides of the plate. Like now I'm down 0-2 on 2 pitches that I can do absolutely nothing with. Yeah. So now it's just protect mode. And
bro, have you thought about like what if that was a double play?
Yeah, it would be completely different.
Yeah,
you know?
like that's insane.
Yeah, Freddie wouldn't have had his grand slam. Yeah, probably 2 feet to the right. That could potentially be a game-ending double play.
Yeah, like
that's just game. Baseball's a wild game. You know?
Freddie at the walk-off after that. Were you on second or third base?
I was on second base for that. So I'm on second base. I'm the winning run. Freddie's up, so I'm just doing my best to get as good of a jump off second base as I can. So I'm pretty much just going on contact. As soon as he hits it, my first step is like, all right, I got to score. And then like a split second after he hit it, I'm like, okay, I don't need to score because that's way out. And I see him like lift his bat up in the air and it was crazy, just jumping around third base. And I had to make sure I touched third and home.
Yeah.
You know, just don't want to miss the base and then that be the reason why we don't win the game. But crazy, definitely the wildest moment, the most fun moment I've ever been a part of on a baseball field.
Yeah. Was that one of the loudest too? I feel like it had to be.
100%, yeah.
We were in like left field, super high up.
Oh, were you? Yeah.
Electric. Oh, what? Next one I got, bro.
Hit in the air, down the left field line, towards the corner it goes. It is gone!
Oh, yeah.
Game 2.
Rodon's got a good fastball. Got up 2-0. You're trying to do damage, and he throws that fastball in. And I'd been hitting the fastball really well all postseason. Did a good job of staying short, turning on that one, and started off the scoring that game. We scored a few more runs the next inning and took it from there.
How do you feel like a World Series homer is different than any other homer?
Yeah, it is wild. The fact that I hit a home run in the World Series, you know, not many people get the chance to be able to say that. Crazy feeling when you're running the bases, you know, you kind of feel like you're floating. Once in a lifetime for sure.
Fast forward to Game 5, down by 1, top of the 8th.
Breaks his bat on a base hit that'll roll through.
Why are you hitting righty-righty?
Yeah, So Tommy Canley, he's a righty pitcher, but he almost throws only one pitch, and it's a changeup. And that changeup is pretty much death on lefties. So since I'm switch, I have the option to hit righty as well, which is something I've actually done a little bit in the past.
Okay.
I think I probably have like 50 total at-bats hitting right on right, but he's like the perfect candidate for that because righties hit him better than lefties do, and he throws that one pitch for the most part. So I think I'd already hit righty against him earlier that series.
Okay.
So I'd kind of seen the changeup before. He just left it up and had the opportunity to hit it to the right spot, kind of like the other one off Cousins earlier.
Were you thinking like first pitch trying to attack?
Yeah, definitely. Trying to get something up off him. If you swing at it down, it's just going to chop it straight into the ground. So you got to get him up for sure. The go-ahead run in the World Series.
Yeah. Game 5, you're up by 1 now. It's
I
up
know,
to the bullpen.
yeah.
Are you like, oh man, like this is getting real?
Absolutely. Actually, we were short on bullpen arms.
Oh,
I think Blake had to go out for his 3rd inning for the 8th, and then that was when Walker threw the 9th. But both those guys were just bulldogs out there, just such tough competitors. And that was a 6th strikeout. Blake struck out Rizzo with runners on base.
Yeah.
Just got fired up, and then Walker obviously shutting him down in the 9th.
And then World Series champs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. Now we're out here. You're a star of the Dodgers doing a commercial shoot, but I want to know, where were you a year ago today? Because so much has changed.
A year ago today, I was still recovering from my wrist injury. So I had wrist surgery in October 23, and I thought I was going to be ready for season, but I ended up getting delayed. I had a few setbacks. May of last year, I was still on the injured list, still trying to work my way back to getting swings in, and I didn't play my first game until August, actually. So it was kind of crazy that the way that the season started last year, started injured, wasn't able to contribute on the field, ended up being the best year I've had.
Did you have any idea you were going to get traded?
No, not really until the deadline. Kind of funny about the wrist injury. I was actually about to come back from the wrist injury in the beginning of July. I was about to go on my rehab assignment, and then I sprained my ankle. So I ended up being out for another month and a half. So by the time the trade deadline came around, I still was a couple weeks away from coming back, and the Cardinals needed to acquire somebody, especially a starting pitcher who would help them, get to the postseason. And since I was injured, I was, kind of a potential trade chip because I hadn't contributed. So that was kind of the reason why I ended up getting traded. It's almost because of the ankle injury that I ended up with the Dodgers and being able to win the World Series.
Was it an abrupt goodbye? Because I just, from talking to a couple other guys, you literally grow up in organizations. You've been there since
2016.
2016. So that's so much of your life. What was that like saying goodbye?
Yeah, it's crazy. I spent 8 years with the Cardinals organization. In one day, I got to pack everything up and head over to the West Coast. The good thing was it happened on an off day, so we had the opportunity to get our suitcases, get everything together, and then I headed over to the field to pack up my locker, but got a very brief goodbye to all the guys who I'd played with, all the staff. It's definitely a weird feeling to say goodbye to all those guys.
Yeah.
But baseball is kind of it has a weird way of seeing those guys again in the future.
Mm-hmm.
We go back to St. Louis, so I'll get to see all those guys again, and a bittersweet feeling getting traded from those guys, but also getting to go to an incredible organization like the Dodgers.
Yeah. Once you're with LA, I feel like you're just thrown into a fire. You hadn't played all year, and then you're thrown into the team with probably the highest expectations in MLB. Just what do you remember about trying to make that initial adjustment and being thrown into that fire?
A little weird because I hadn't played the whole year, and I show up to the team and I'm still not playing. So I'm kind of just meeting all the guys at first when I got here in August. I'm just trying to familiarize myself with the staff and getting to know everybody. When I had a couple weeks before I went on a rehab assignment, played 10 days of games and then got thrown into the middle of a pennant race. Yeah, definitely not an ordinary year, but I felt like the way it worked out, it kind of worked out for the best because I felt like I was kind of just starting to hit my stride once playoffs started, be relatively fresh compared to guys who had played for the whole year. The other part with the Dodgers is they did such a good job of kind of identifying the things they wanted me to work on right away and attacking those even before I went out to do my rehab, which is tough to do if you're in the middle of a season, but being on the injured list gave me a chance to kind of work on some of those things. It helped me finish the year strong and then started this year well.
With your body being more fresh, you think that postseason run was easier than, how many did you have with the Cardinals?
19, 20, 21, 22, 4, yeah.
Okay.
In 20, 21, 22, we lost in the first round.
Okay.
And then 19, we won the first round and then lost to the Nationals in the NLCS. But yeah, having the 3 series is definitely exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with that first one against the Padres, that was just an exhausting series.
Yeah.
And then the second 2, you're going to New York twice, you're doing cross-country trips. By the end of that, you're gassed.
Yeah.
You're ready for a break.
Backtracking a little more, in March 2023, you had the opportunity to play with Team Korea. I think you were the only American-born player on that team. How did that come about? Like your mom's Korean, right?
Yeah.
But how'd you get in contact with the Korean baseball organization?
So yeah, my mother was born in Korea. She actually moved to LA though when she was about, I think, 5 or 6 years old. For the requirements for the World Baseball Classic, you have to have one parent who has citizenship or citizenship in that country or be born there. And since my mom was born there, I was able to meet that standard. So I actually can't remember who exactly got in touch with me. I think it was somebody through the Cardinals organization because they'd had a couple of Korean players in the past. Closer named Sung-Hwan Oh a few years back, like 2017, 18. And then Kwang-Hyun Kim was a lefty pitcher from 20 and 21. So there were a couple of Korean connections with St. Louis. So I think it was through one of those connections that I ended up getting connected with a Korean team. And yeah, it was just a incredible opportunity. Got to go to Korea for the first time in my life. We had our practice and a few scrimmages there. Yeah. And then to get to play at the Tokyo Dome for the World Baseball Classic was incredible, and really cool opportunity to immerse myself in the Korean culture in a way that I hadn't been able to do in the past.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a unique way to go about it too. Is like, I mean, one through baseball is really cool because like everyone has a common language of baseball. Did you have to have like an interpreter coming around with you? Because I mean, all your teammates mainly spoke Korean, right?
I didn't have like one specific interpreter, but I had a few guys who kind of helped me out. There were several guys on the staff who spoke really good English, and then there were a few players who spoke good English as well. So Ha-Sung Kim was kind of one of the guys who guided me and like helped me get to know all the guys and like told me where to go, all that kind of stuff. So I guess Ha-Sung, Jung-Hoo Lee with the Giants now, and then Hae-Sung, who's with us right now, all played on the same team in Korea. They all were like kind of sticking together, going out to dinners and like working out and stuff like that. So they invited me along to a few of those things. So that's actually how I got to know Hae-Sung a little bit before he came to the Dodgers. So it was exciting to have the chance to play with him again. But yeah, all those guys were, very welcoming, like great dudes, great baseball players as well. So yeah, it was awesome to get to know those three guys and now to get to play with Kim.
What are kind of like some of your biggest cultural takeaways? Like, did anything catch you off guard?
I think one of the things that stuck out to me is the kind of respect that younger players have for older players.
Yeah.
So since Hae-Sung was the youngest one of all of us, it was kind of like his duty to kind of like serve the older players, I guess, in a way. Yeah. So like when we went out to eat, like he'd be the one who would go and like get the food for everybody and bring it back for everybody. Yeah. He'd be the one who like take the trash and like throw everybody's trash away.
Yeah.
And you're always supposed to like defer to the older players. Like if somebody wants to hit first or go in the training room, like you have to let the older player go first. Little things like that, And it's kind of just, I think that's the way that Korean culture is. And it's somewhat like that in the baseball world, but not quite to that extent in the United States.
Cool. And are you planning on playing again in 2026? What can fans expect from that team?
I'm definitely considering it. I've only had one conversation so far with the Korean team. Still a decision I got to make.
There's other factors too.
Yeah, there's other factors. It was an incredible experience in 23. I think knowing those guys would make it even more fun. Getting to play with Kim over there and then Jung-Hoo and Ha-Sung again. Still got to figure out what the next year brings for me, but it's definitely under consideration.
Awesome. Overall, what's it been like being part of a major ad campaign like you've done here with Edmunds?
It's been great so far, been a really fun experience. It was cool that I got to work with Edmunds because literally right before we were kind of starting this campaign, I was starting to look for cars. So it was very convenient that I was able to use Edmunds. Got a couple of cars earlier this spring. It's been a lot of fun. It's definitely a new experience for me.
Yeah.
I've never had my makeup done before, but it's very natural makeup though, having a good time here, and it's a cool honor to be part of a national campaign like this.
For sure. And you're kind of a natural with the mic earlier. Like, was that the first time you've kind of conducted interviews before?
Yeah, it still felt a little awkward. Like, I feel like I want to keep the mic in my face and then forget to like ask them questions.
That's something we're so bad at sometimes. Like, we're like asking. Mostly me,
yeah. Yeah. No, it's kind of a tough thing. I got to remind myself, okay, they're talking, put the mic in their face now. So
I think it went well. We got some good interactions earlier.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet. Is that all we got?